Hi, I'm Natalie, and this was my first time watching Zootopia 2. So, the synopsis of the movie is detectives Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde find themselves on the twisting trail of a mysterious reptile who turns the mammal metropolis of Zootopia upside down. Testing their growing partnership like never before, they go undercover in new parts of town to crack the case. Stars of the movie: Jennifer Goodwin was Judy Hopps, Jason Bateman was Nick Wilde, and there were lots of cameos. Shakira was the gazelle again. The new song is not as good as the other one. The last song was fantastic. This one was a little lackluster. The other cameos were Ed Sheeran, The Rock, Brenda Song, Macaulay Culkin, Robert Irwin, Andy Samberg, and more. There were a lot. And a lot of them I didn't even catch because they were very, very fast. There were a lot of Easter eggs of other Disney franchises, and they all had silly animal spins. I saw one on, Frozen. There was another one. There were a lot of them, and they were really funny. There was also a Burning Man nod. The festival was Burning Mammal. It was funny. Lots of funny references, but they went by very quickly, so I felt like I missed a lot of them. A lot of these cameos and stuff like that, I didn't even realize they were there because of how quickly it went. In the beginning, Judy and Nick are part of the police force where there is a smuggling ring that they are trying to bust. They are the newbies, so they are told basically to just watch and learn. They, mostly Judy, took it upon themselves to try to solve the ring themselves, but end up ruining the town and breaking a sculpture of the founder of Zootopia, Ebenezer Linksley, right before the 100-year anniversary of the town being founded. Judy finds a snakeskin during the heist, leading her to the Zootennial Gala, where she finds a snake trying to steal the journal belonging to the town founder. The snake tells her that the journal proves that snakes aren't bad and were cast out of Zootopia over a misunderstanding. The Linksley family threatened to burn the journal and kill the snake, but they got away. Nick and Judy are on the run from the Linksley family, trying to help out their new friend, Gary DeSnake, which that was it's a cute little name. Through a series of unfortunate events, Judy keeps getting in trouble, nearly dying on multiple occasions. Nick tells her several times to give it up, that some things aren't worth dying for. Judy persists, and they end up finding proof that Gary DeSnake's grandmother made the patent for the weather machine to make Zootopia, and the Linksleys stole it and cast out all of the reptiles to keep them quiet. The Linksleys are arrested, and Nick and Judy are free of charges. So, what did I think of the movie? I really liked this movie. I am not ever excited about sequels. I was very excited about Moana 2 and got my hopes up, so I wasn't too excited about this because I didn't want to be upset. But the movie was really good. It had a good intro to remind you what had happened the last time, because it's been a long time. I was in college when it came out, so I don't remember everything. But a lot happened during this movie. Everything was very quick. I feel like they definitely could have spent more time, flesh out what's happening a little bit more, speak more on certain issues, especially the reptile stuff. They really could have spent more time on, because that was really the main thing. I feel like there was a lot going on all at once, and it kind of got a little muddled, and it was there was a lot happening, and it was a very short movie. I also felt like Judy learned nothing. She nearly died after the first attempt to cover the truth about the snakes. And then she almost dies again with the snake venom from the friend that she made along the way, Paubert Linksley. Then she almost dies again in the water tunnel. And then she almost dies again when they're caught at the Honeymoon Inn. That's a lot of times that she was almost dead. And Nick basically just went along with everything that Judy said, very little pushback. He didn't really have much of a personality during this movie. He was a lot slimier in the first one. He had a lot more of that tricky fox thing going on in the first one. This one, he really just seemed like a side character and basically was just like the, oh no, don't do that. Well, I guess we're doing that. I feel like that definitely could have been fleshed out more. They were mostly like talking about their problems with them as a couple or a partnership or whatever, a team, but I feel like each of them specifically apart didn't really get much of an arc and didn't get much fleshing out. I feel like they were very two-dimensional figures. They had a like will they, won't they kind of joking between them the whole movie, but they never actually confirmed that they will be together, but they definitely like hinted at it. And it was like kind of weird the amount that they hinted at it and then kind of did nothing about it. I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with that, but maybe there's gonna be a Zootopia 3, who knows. I think they would have been, they're cute together. I did like that, like there are so many little things that you could miss so quickly. Like one thing that I noticed is that when Judy goes over to his house for the first time, there are like past due statements in his mailbox, so you can like see that he is like not paying his rent and not doing very well. I thought that was interesting, but again, like they don't flesh that out. It's just like if you see it, you see it, and if you don't, you don't. Like I feel like they really could have amped up his like tricksterness, and I feel like that also could have helped them more during the whole like beginning to the end of this movie. Like he was basically the reason that they got tracked. Like he left his hat during one of the parts and then they tracked them from there, and then his carrot thing, they tracked him there, and it's like I don't think he would have been the reason why they got tracked this whole time. I feel like it would be more likely that it would have been Judy's fault. Maybe I'm just reaching, but I feel like maybe Nick wouldn't be the problem in this situation, but he kind of was during this movie. He kind of was the reason why they kept getting caught. The movie actually did go pretty deep on the like stolen land and racism toward the reptiles, which I thought was really, really good that they actually went there. Obviously they are reptiles and not people, but you still get the same kind of thing where like they are pushed out of their own land and then they are just banned from everywhere, and everybody is like terrified and like death to this, all of the reptiles. They all got lumped in with the snakes. And also on multiple occasions they were threatened to be killed. Like Judy and Nick were the full death threats, which I think was interesting because that's like a very big like adult thing for a kids movie, for it to be like kill them, and it's like, oh, they are full on just like death threats in this movie, which more power to you. It's just weird that like in this day and age for a kids movie to have death threats was a little strange. Going back to like the backstory of it all, I am very impressed with how they handled the tougher topic of racism and stolen land and everything. You saw the pictures and the backstories of the snakes and the other reptiles being forced out of their land from the rich mammals in charge. It painted a very pretty reflective picture on real life events. The movie was definitely a heartwarming story. It was funny and it was touching and it was entertaining the entire time. I didn't think there was ever like a down moment where I was like kind of bored or kind of like, I feel like I was in the story the whole time. It was very good. But yes, unfortunately, this song was not as good as the last song. I liked it, but then there was the zoo, ooh, ooh, and I just don't like that part at all. The Try Everything song from the last one, like that song is such a bop that I was really hopeful for this new song. But other than that zoo ooh 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 part, I like the rest of the song, but that part just like kills it for me. But I would love to know how you feel about the new song. Do you like this song better than Try Everything? Are you wrong? Tell me your thoughts. I don't have anything for show and tell. I don't have any Zootopia merch, which is interesting because I own a bunny and I am very open about my bunny love. I love my bunnies. But I did have the cinnamon sugar pretzel bites during the movie. They were incredible. They were delicious. They came with icing to dip them in. Very, very good. Highly recommend. My rating out of 5 stars. I think this is a very strong 4. I really liked the movie. I just think that some things just weren't touched on enough, and some things were just like a blink and you miss it. And I feel like if the movie was like 20 more minutes, maybe we could have gotten a little bit more backstory. We could have gotten more meat in there and less like just all over the place. Like, I feel like we really could have dug a little deeper, you know? Everything was very surface level, which it is a children's movie, so that could be why, especially with the, you know, harder topics, for them to just kind of leave it surface level makes sense. But also, like, more, you know, I wanted a little bit more, you know. That is kind of my feeling and my first watch of Zootopia 2. I would love to hear what you think. I am asking for recommendations. I am finally back making these videos, this podcast of first watch. I miss you guys very, 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 very much. I really missed doing this. We have still been watching movies and everything. We just haven't been talking about them. We, of course, watched like Wicked 2. We watched Materialists. We watched a lot of movies over this break. We probably won't be going back and talking about the old ones. I don't know. I made a whole script for Materialists and also for Prom Queen, the R.L. Stine movie that came out. So, I mean, you know, I'll post them. I'll talk about them with you if you're interested. Especially like these ones, which are technically like bonus features. So these aren't like the full length me and Nick sitting down and talking about a movie back and forth. These are kind of more like quick, you know, intermissions. I don't even know. Just quick ones in between to give you a little something, just so we can like chat about some movies that maybe we don't have the biggest feelings toward or anything like that, or just ones that we want to talk about that, you know, maybe the other person doesn't want to talk about it, so I'm just doing it by myself, you know, the kind of thing. But I would love to hear what movies you think we should react to next, and also some movies that you want us to just go back and watch. There are so many movies I haven't ever watched, so if there's something specific you want me to watch, let me know. I'll probably watch it. Some movies I try and I just can't get into, and I can't talk about them because I don't care and I don't understand. So keep that in mind. Maybe some of the ones that like you have to use your whole brain for, maybe like keep those to yourself. But like fun ones, or like, you know, just easy ones, you know, we can talk about those. I would love if you would like and subscribe and rate this podcast. And I put the video ones on my YouTube channel, which is Natalie Jordan is my name, and it's just First Watch with Nick and Natalie is what they're called. Nick has a Twitch called Apollo Plays Live if you want to follow him. We would love if you would rate the podcast 5 stars. That would be super, super cool. And if you liked the channel, or, you know, liked the videos, subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching, and we will see you at the next showing.